And good afternoon, everyone, as we are back with you for another day of Lenoir-Rhyne Bear softball. Malik Ellis is helping us on the technology today. His job far more important than mine. But we're going to try to fill in here and give you what's going on in today's doubleheader against Southern New Hampshire University. Southern New Hampshire is playing their first games of the season. It's a typical time of year when teams from up north will swing down south and try to get some games in, and these are the first two they're playing. On Monday, we'll play Lemoyne out of Syracuse, New York, and I imagine they're in the same situation. So we will host Southern New Hampshire today. I'll try to give you a little bit of info about them as we go through the game. Keys to the game today. Bears need to show some energy at the start. I think they coming off a good performance on Wednesday. The sweeping the doubleheader against King, but kind of need to keep that momentum going. Situational hitting, I think is important. They left some runners on base in the doubleheader against King. Of course, they won both those games 6-0. But still, being able to move runners and get some runners home, I think is also important. Defend the home field. We got 8 straight at home. We've won the first 2, and you want to defend your own turf, and we're going to try to do that here today. Lauren Rakes on the mound for Lenoir-Rhyne, and we're getting at it as Alyssa DeMauro, the Southern New Hampshire Penman second baseman, stands in against Lauren. If you were with us on Wednesday or saw a box score online, Bear pitchers Lauren Rakes and Morgan Beeler had outstanding games. And coming off a 5-game losing streak down in Florida, it was really, really important that we get a couple of wins, and they were just locked in and gave us a great opportunity, the Bears, to win, which they did. 1-2 the count for the Southern New Hampshire second baseman. Just getting started. Beautiful day. A little bit chilly. A little bit more windy than Wednesday. And foul tip. So DeMauro stays alive at the plate. This is Southern New Hampshire's opener. They were 13-13 last year. And that pitch is outside. Team batting average is .289, team ERA of 3.53. So pretty solid numbers for a season. Counts 2-2 now. Leadoff hitter of the game. And there's a pop-up. Could be a little bit of trouble. Kendall Osborne's in, and she's going to make a play out in short left field. So one away for the Bears. And Bella Dickinson will come to the plate, the Penman shortstop. Southern New Hampshire may ring a bell. You may have seen their commercials on TV for their online programs, which are nation, maybe worldwide. I'll come back to that in a moment. One away. Here's a pitch from Rakes, and that's a strike. So I looked up a little information on Southern New Hampshire, and their traditional student enrollment is a little over 3,900, so a little bigger than Lenoir-Rhyne. And I noticed this number, online enrollment, 135,000. So they do have us there. Quickly 0-2 now in the hole, Bella Dickinson. For Southern New Hampshire, here's a pitch from Rakes and foul back. Lauren, 7 innings pitched, threw a shutout, 2-hit shutout on Wednesday, struck out 12. And she was on it from the start, struck out 8 of the first 9 batters she faced. And we'll see if she's got that kind of control today. 0-2's the count. Here's a pitch. And high. I would think this, and this is no disrespect to Southern New Hampshire, but this being their first games, and my guess is they haven't had a whole lot of opportunity to be outside, being up in that part of the Northeast. And, so we do have some games under our belt, and hopefully that works in our favor today as Dickinson goes down on strikes. First strikeout today for Lauren Rakes, and Chloe Griffin will come to the plate. Chloe will be in the circle today for Southern New Hampshire. And there's a strike. 1-1. A little bit more windy today. Well, quite a bit more windy, I would say. And there's a shot to right, and looks like Cassidy Wall will be able to make the play, and she does. So a pretty quick 1-2-3 for the Bears. And we will head into the bottom of the first. We're scoreless. First game of our doubleheader. You're listening to Lenoir-Rhyne Softball on the Bears Sports Network.
I'm Rob with Center Street Eats. We're located at 2250 North Center Street in Viewmont. We offer fast dine-in and carry-out service. Usually your prepared meals at lunch from 11 to 3 are ready within 5 minutes. Center Street Eats also offers prepared meals and snacks, protein bars, smoothies, and so much more. We can accommodate most allergy restrictions and can adjust our weekly menu to comply with the most current trending diets like keto and paleo. Street Eats has helped fuel the sports programs at Lenoir-Rhyne for over 10 years now. We work with every program on campus, and we look forward to working with them again.
And welcome back, everyone. Lenoir-Rhyne softball today on a nice, bright day. A little breezy, a little chilly, but good day for softball, particularly in February. Bears getting ready to come to the plate. Let's run through their starting lineup real quick. Some pretty traditional names and traditional spots in the order. Leading off, Savannah Moorfield in center field. Caitlin Rackard at shortstop. Kylie Linhart batting third and catching. Cassidy Wall batting fourth in right field. Hannah Jennings batting fifth. And at third base, Julia Mardigan at second. Laura Beth Wood at first base. Lauren Rakes, the pitcher, will hit for herself, batting eighth. And Kendall Osborne, the left fielder, will finish up the lineup for Lenoir-Rhyne as Savannah Moorfield steps in. And see if the Bears can get on the scoreboard early. There's ball two to Moorfield. Senior out of Claudeville, Virginia. Leading hitter for the Bears at .441 batting average. 6 runs and plays a really, really good center fielder. There's a ground ball just foul past first base. And the outfielders might have a little bit of a challenge today with the wind blowing the way it is. Flags are pretty straight out. Moorfield steps in, 2-1's a count. Just getting started, game one of our doubleheader today. Hits Southern New Hampshire. Here's the pitch. And there's a slow ground ball to first and fielded, and that's one away. Emily Carbonneau for Southern New Hampshire. And that will bring Caitlin Rackard to the plate. Caitlin batting .379, freshman out of Lexington. A couple of doubles. And played a good shortstop for us on Wednesday. Oh, and that's a little bit inside. 4-1. Griffin gets set in a circle. Here's the pitch. And outside. Again, not to harp on it, but Bears one big advantage against Southern New Hampshire's. Bears have 9 games under their belt, and these being the season openers for Southern New Hampshire. And guessing they don't get a lot of outdoor time practicing up there. Here's a pop to left field. Looks like it's going to be playable, and it is. 4. Quickly 2 outs for the Bears. Kylie Lenhart comes to the plate for Lenoir-Rhyne. She's on a little personal quest this year, has an opportunity to become Lenoir-Rhyne's all-time leading home run hitter. 42 currently. Had one in Florida to get to that number. As Griffin gets set. And a little bit high. So just ahead of Kylie is Jody Mizell. If you've followed Lenoir-Rhyne softball for a while, you'll recognize that name. Shortstop, left fielder for us. She has 44, and our all-time leader in home runs, Sarah Atkins Cook, with 46. And a hot shot past third, and Lenhart is going to be on, doesn't try to press things, safe at first, and a base runner for Lenoir-Rhyne here with 2 outs in the bottom of the first inning. Cassidy Wall steps in for the Bears. Cassidy, couple of doubles, home run, leader in RBIs for Lenoir-Rhyne with 7 early in this season. And let's see if she can keep things alive for the Bears. Griffin steps in. 2 outs. Bears have a runner on. And pulled the string a little bit, but high. Southern New Hampshire's nickname is the Penman, Penmen. So I tried to figure out what that was, and evidently it's a colonial reference. And the pen, and the name is a old quill pen. And that's a shot up the middle. It's going to be a single for Wall, and the Bears are in business for runners at first and second here with 2 outs. So nice job by Wall. And Bears a little 2-out threat here in the bottom of the first. So yes, the pen, P-E-N, is a quill pen, and then their mascot, their colonial dressed mascot, is holding a quill pen in his hand. Hannah Jennings, the batter. And at third, good fielder for us and has an opportunity to get the Bears on the board early if she can get a hit here. And there's a pop fly. Looks like it may be playable, and it is. So Bears threaten in the bottom of the first, but do not push a run across, and we'll head to the top of the second. We have no score here, game 1 of our doubleheader. You're listening to Lenoir-Rhyne Softball on the Bears Sports Network, sponsored by MBA Roofing.
Cordell Harris Insurance Agency, a family-owned and operated business serving the Hickory area since 1981, where we strive to take care of you and your den like family. As an independent insurance agency, we offer a vast spectrum of coverage for your commercial and personal insurance needs with our extensive network of providers. Cordell Harris Insurance Agency is a proud sponsor of Lenoir-Rhyne Athletics. Protect your den with Cordell Harris. Go Bears!
And welcome back, everyone. Game 1 of our doubleheader this afternoon. Bears hosting Southern New Hampshire. Didn't get a chance to go through their lineup here at the top of the first. So quickly for Southern New Hampshire, Alyssa DeMauro at second base, Bella Dixon at shortstop. Chloe Griffin is in the circle pitching for Southern New Hampshire. Cleanup hitter who's stepping in the box now, Shannon Gifford, third base. Emily Carbonneau, the first baseman. Abby Gray will be behind the plate. Abby Haggerty in right field. Jordan Resitar is the designated player. And Bryn Garzinski is playing center field. Brittany Moda is playing left field for Southern New Hampshire, but not batting. And there's the first pitch from Lauren Rakes. It's a ball, and the top of the second's underway. As I mentioned earlier, both Lauren and Morgan had just outstanding performances in the circle, and coming off a tough trip to Florida, that was really what the doctor ordered for the Bears. between the two of them. 14 innings pitched, 3 hits, no runs, 1 walk, and 18 strikeouts. So nice job there. And right back to us almost. And count goes to 1-2. And the Bears hit the ball as well. Won both games 6-0. Home run from Laura Beth Wood. A couple of doubles mixed in. Got off to slow starts in each game. And as we mentioned there at the top, as far as keys of the game, maybe getting a little bit more situational hitting, trying to push some runners, around, runners in scoring position. Did work out for us top of the first, but it's early. 2-2 the count. As Lauren Rakes faces Shannon Gifford, the Penman third baseman, and she's down on strikes. So second strikeout for Lauren today. And looks pretty good so far. Emily Carbonneau steps in. First base for the Penman. And then here's the pitch. A little bit outside, I guess. Pitching numbers overall don't look great, simply because we've had some that tough trip, but absolutely getting in the right direction after Wednesday. Good way to start an 8-game home stretch, and we'll see if the Bears can build on that here this afternoon. And swing and a miss. So Carbonneau quickly in an 0-2 hole. Facing Lauren Rakes. Lauren looks in the dugout and checks the wristband. And swing and a miss. So strike 3. And Abby Gray, the Southern New Hampshire catcher, will step to the plate. I'm sure Southern New Hampshire has faced each other in what is probably an indoor setting on their campus during the winter. But facing live pitching outside from somebody else, I'm sure is going to take a little bit of adjustment for them. Two outs, top of the second, no score. Pitch from Rakes, and right there for a strike. And there's a little slow roller to Laura Beth Wood at first, and an easy play for the Bear first baseman as Southern New Hampshire goes quietly here in the top of the second. And we'll head to the bottom half right after this. You're listening to Lenoir-Rhyne Softball on the Bear Sports Network. Heading to the bottom of the second here on a sunny afternoon in Hickory. Bears hosting Southern New Hampshire University. Bears coming into the game 4-5. Picked up a doubleheader sweep of King back on Wednesday. Good start. I mentioned a little bit about keys to the game, thanks to Malik Ellis, and situational hitting. 13 runners left on base for the Bears on Wednesday and 2 already today. So here's kind of an example of something maybe the Bears need to clean up a little bit. First pitch strike to Julia Mardigan, freshman second baseman for Lenoir-Rhyne. Chloe Griffin on the mound for the Penman, and here's in a soft little liner to the shortstop. Is out number 1. Laura Beth Wood will step in. Made a play in the field last inning. And had a nice home run on Wednesday that sparked us in game 1. See if she can string together some hits here today. And there's a strike. Wood batting .263. Of course, the home run on Wednesday. Here's a pitch, and that's strike 2. Nice pitch from Chloe Griffin. Low and away. And Laura Beth's in the hole now with 1 out in the bottom of the second. And outside. 1-2. Bears will be back in action tomorrow as they host UNC Pembroke. First pitch game 1 is 2 o'clock tomorrow, and the weather's supposed to be nice as it is today. So we're looking forward to that. On Monday, Bears host Lemoyne out of Syracuse, New York. First pitch for game 1 there is 12 noon. If Lemoyne rings a bell, it's Lemoyne's men's lacrosse team who defeated the Bears in the national championship match back in May of last year, so we can get some revenge on them via softball on Monday, and who knows, maybe men's lacrosse this coming May. Full count now to Laura Beth Wood. Was down 0-2, has worked it full. 1 out here, nobody on in the bottom of the second. And a nice shot, but right to the first baseman. She hit it hard, but pretty easy play for Emily Carbonneau. And there's 2 away for the Bears. Lauren Rakes steps in. A lot of times they will hit for the pitcher, but not Lauren. She's good in both areas. Good all-around player, 333 on the year. And, of course, we know what she's done on the mound. A couple of doubles, and she'll see if she can get something going to help herself out with 2 outs in the bottom of the second. And another low pitch. And 3-0 now. Lauren's got a chance to be a little choosy here. Lorna Jr. played at East Wilkes High School. Fairly close by. Here's 3-0. And it's low and back to the wall, so Lauren Rakes draws a 4-pitch walk, and the Bears have a base runner here with 2 outs in the bottom of the second. Kendall Osborne steps in. She was in a little bit of a hitting slump, heading first few games and heading back from Florida, but had a hard hit double in the doubleheader against King, and maybe that'll loosen things up for her. Lauren Rakes on first, 2 outs. And there's a nice shot up the middle for Kendall Osborne. That's going to drop, so Bears now with a couple of runners on, second inning in a row. And we'll see if Savannah Moorfield can get the Bears on the board here with 2 outs. Savannah hit a ground ball to first base back in the first. Has an opportunity here with 2 on and 2 outs. And pitch outside. Savannah, of course, good speed, so anything on the ground may have a chance. And there's a shot to center, and it's got the center fielder on her horse, and that is she came out of her glove. Thought it was going to be a nice catch, so double for Moorfield, and it plates 2 for the Bears. And here in the bottom of the second, Lenoir-Rhyne strikes and takes a 2-0 lead. So based on what we were talking about at the beginning of the game, a couple of important things. Well, there's 2 base runners with 2 outs that we didn't strand, and we're able to take a 2-0 lead. So nice job by Savannah Moorfield. Drive in a couple, and let's see if the Braves, good grief, see if the Bears can get another one here. As Caitlin Rackard steps in, fly out to left back in the first, but has a chance to get an RBI here. Speed on second, so single of any sort of depth, I think, and Moorfield could probably get home. Well, has to get it out of the infield, obviously. And that's a strike. I imagine with a runner in scoring position and 2-0 lead, Caitlin's going to, at least early on here, make sure it's a pitch she likes. 1-1 to count, and that's outside. Game 1 of our doubleheader. Bears have gotten on the board first, trying to get another one here with 2 outs in the bottom of the second. Caitlin Rackard at the plate, Bears shortstop. And here's the pitch. And laid off that one. Good call, and counts now 3-1. Be nice to see Kylie Linhart get an opportunity with runners on, but Caitlin Rackard's going to have to extend the inning here. And that's a nice shot to center. Center field's going back to the fence. That's going to be extra bases. Moorfield scores easily. And a stand-up double for Caitlin Rackard. So back-to-back doubles have the Bears on top 3-0. That's the way. Runners in scoring position. And get them across. So early flourish here for Lenoir-Rhyne as Kylie Linhart will step in. And another runner in scoring position. Kylie batting .400 heading into the game today. And that's inside. Wind died down a little bit. Might be good for Kylie. It was blowing in and to the right. Flags are drooped right now. And pitch outside. Count goes to 1-1. Second game of our doubleheader will follow about 20 minutes after the end of this one. It's scheduled for 5. And, of course, that's dependent on how long game 1 lasts. And good cut by Kylie, but foul back. She's in the hole 1 and 2. We were talking in the press box before the game, and our consensus opinion was Southern New Hampshire is probably pretty excited to see the sun and see grass. We've had a lot of snow up through there the last few weeks. Count goes even at 2 and 2. Bears on the board with 3. Here in the bottom of the second, looking for more. As Kylie Linhart's at the plate. Caitlin Rackard stand at second. And boy, she liked that one. And the center fielders had to do some running this inning. It looks like this one's going to hang up and stay in play. And that is the end of the inning. But the Bears strike first with 3 runs here in the bottom of the second, and will take a 3-0 lead as we head to the top of the third. You're listening to Lenoir-Rhyne Softball on the Bears Sports Network, sponsored by MBA Roofing. So the Lenoir-Rhyne Bears take a 3-0 lead here into the top of the third. Abby Haggerty, right fielder, will lead it off for Southern New Hampshire. Lauren Rakes has retired the first 6 she's faced, 3 strikeouts, and see if she can stay in the groove that she was very much in back on Wednesday. But 2-0 count quickly. Lauren and Morgan need to pitch well. They're the foundation of our pitching staff, and they're going to have to throw a lot of innings this year. And it's good to see them have some success Wednesday and hopefully continuing on into today. Oh, high 3-1 now the count to Abby Haggerty. As you might suspect, they're glanced through their roster and mostly New Hampshire, Massachusetts, Maine players. A couple from Canada. One from Los Angeles, California. That one jumped out at me. Swing and a miss, so Rakes has gotten the count back full. And Haggerty will step in. And strike 3. So Lauren Rakes' 4th strikeout of the game so far. And 1 away. Jordan Resitar, the designated player, will step in for the Penman. Resitar batting for the left fielder, Brittany Moda, today. And ball 1. Of course, this is the openers for the Penman. 13-13 last year. And inside. Oh, strike. Bears finished 17-16. Bit of an off year. So trying to get back sorted out here early in the season. One away here, top of the third. And here's a pitch. And swing and a miss. So Resitar goes down swinging. Second strikeout of the inning for Lauren Rakes. 5th of the game. And with 2 outs, Bryn Garzinski, the center fielder, steps in. She got to work out in center last inning. Let's see what she does at the plate here. And ball 1. She had to get on her horse a few times back towards the fence. And swing and a miss. Still plenty of time to head over here. It's pretty nice. People bundle up. It's a little bit windy. But beautiful day outside. 2-1 now the count. 2 outs here, top of third. Bears lead 3-0. Maybe it's my inner self hoping that they get the Major League Baseball season started soon. I don't know that that's going to happen. 2-2 the count. Lauren looks in the dugout. Checks the wristband. And there's a nice shot. Just looks like it. No, is it foul? Called it foul. It's hard for us to see a couple of angles there as you get towards the outfield, particularly in right. Kind of looking over the Lenoir-Rhyne dugout. It looked like it could have been fair just on a lean, but foul ball, so Garzinski will step back in. And she stays alive. So the Penman center fielder working hard in center last inning and now battling pretty hard at the plate against Lauren Rakes. And that's a little low, so she's run the count full. No base runners so far for Southern New Hampshire. I know Lauren would like to get this batter and get back in the dugout. LR bats looked like they were getting hot. And there's a shot up the middle. Nice single for Garzinski and first base runner for Southern New Hampshire. So 2-out single. And it'll send us back to the top of the order. Alyssa DeMauro will step in. Fly out to Kendall Osborne back in the first. Kendall had to cover some ground to get in. It was pretty shallow. Rackard didn't look like she was going to be able to get there. But nice play by Osborne. And then DeMauro gets her second chance. And there's a strike. On Wednesday, the pitchers from both teams seem to be getting the outside of the plate from the umpires. And a little bobble there at the plate. And Garzinski's able to take second. Not sure how they'll rule that. Hit the dirt. So probably a wild pitch. Nonetheless, Southern New Hampshire's got a runner in scoring position. But going back to the pitching, Wednesday it seemed like the pitchers for both teams were kind of getting that outside part of the plate a little favorably from the umpire. Today, there's been some inside calls that some of the batters haven't liked, and there's strike 3. Oh, excuse me, strike 2. So runner on second for the Penman. Alyssa DeMauro trying to get her in, and there's strike 3. So Lauren Rakes strikes out the side and leaves a base runner stranded. That was in scoring position for Southern New Hampshire, and we'll head to the bottom of the third with the Bears leading 3-0. We'll be right back. You're listening to Lenoir-Rhyne Softball on the Bears Sports Network. And welcome back. Bottom third, Bears with a 3-0 lead over Southern New Hampshire. Southern New Hampshire's first game of the year. As they face the Bears, 4-5. Trying to string some wins together after Wednesday, and there's a quick out. Number 1, Cassie Wall flies to left center. 8-game homestand for Lenoir-Rhyne. These are games 3 and 4. Swept a doubleheader against King on Wednesday. Host UNC Pembroke tomorrow. Game starting at 2 o'clock. Hannah Jennings at the plate. And there's a strike. Jennings not much action at third base yet today. But she is solid at that position. A good at-set defensively for the Bears. Turns to bunt and doesn't quite get its contact, but stays around the plate. And that's strike 2. And batting .214. Does have a home run already this year. Game 1 of our doubleheader. And that is strike 3. First strikeout of the day for Chloe Griffin as she retires Hannah Jennings, and Julia Mardigan will step to the plate. She lined out to the shortstop first time up. One of 3 freshmen who are playing pretty extensively for the Bears here early on in the season. And there's a shot up the middle, good solid base hit, and Bears have another 2-out base runner. Both innings started out with outs. 2 outs, bottom of the first. Back-to-back singles. Bears weren't able to get a run across. 2 outs, bottom of the second. Bears ended up scoring 3, so let's opt for that plan here. As Laura Beth Wood stands in, she's certainly capable of hitting it out. She did on Wednesday. Hit one pretty far to right center. See what she can do here. Pull the string a little bit. Griffin did. And ball 1. So 1-out single puts Julia Mardigan at first for Lenoir-Rhyne. Laura Beth Wood ground out to first base, her first time up, and count goes 1-1. I'm not sure if Laura Beth liked that call. And she slowly gets ready for the next pitch. Chloe Griffin on the mound for Southern New Hampshire. And here's a pitch, and that's outside. Mentioned 8-game homestand, got through UNC Pembroke. Bears will host Lemoyne from Syracuse, New York. Another northern team trying to escape the snow, get down here and get some ball games in. And pull the string there, and that's going to be a tough play for the shortstop, but she makes a throw to first, and Laura Beth Wood is retired. So Bears do get a 2-out base runner, but are unable to advance Mardigan. And we will go to the top of the 4th with Lenoir-Rhyne leading 3-0. You're listening to Lenoir-Rhyne Softball on the Bears Sports Network, sponsored by MBA Roofing.
Celebrate great with Carolina West Wireless. Great new phones and a great customer experience, all on our great nationwide high-speed network. Stop by today and get big savings on select Samsung smartphones, like $350 off the Samsung Galaxy S20 and S20 Plus, and $350 off the Note 20 and Note 20 Ultra. The great savings continue with 4 lines of unlimited data for just $35 a month per line. Celebrate great savings and go stay connected wherever your travels take you.
And the wind has picked back up here at Bear Field, and we've got a pitching change. So maybe that was planned, not sure, but Morgan Beeler is now on the mound for Lenoir-Rhyne. We'll see if Lauren Rakes stays in to hit, but we have made a pitching change as Beeler will start the top of the fourth for the Bears. Morgan, excellent game in her own right. Game 2 of Wednesday's doubleheader. 7 innings pitched, 1 hit, no runs, no walks, 6 strikeouts, and we'll see how Morgan does here. Bella Dickinson at the plate for Southern New Hampshire. She struck out in the first, facing Lauren Rakes. This is Beeler, and that's a ball. Guess we close the book on Lauren. 3 innings pitched, 1 hit, no runs, no walks, 6 strikeouts. And there's a swing and a miss. And as I said, Morgan pitched great in game 2. You know, between the two of them, Rakes and Beeler, 14 innings pitched, 3 hits, no runs, 1 walk, and 18 strikeouts. So nice job by the Bear pitching staff. And there's a line will pop up to the right, and Cassidy Wall is able to make that play. And there's 1 away here in the top of the 4th. Chloe Griffin, a pitcher, steps in for Southern New Hampshire. Fly ball to right in her first at-bat. So we'll see how she fares here. Here's the pitch from Beeler. And that's fouled off. Scoreboard hadn't posted. I think the count's 1-1. Griffin stands in, and there's a pitch from Warren. Solid hit up the middle for the Penman pitcher, and a 1-out base runner for Southern New Hampshire here in the top of the 4th. Bears made a pitching change here in the top half of this inning. Morgan Beeler comes in for Lauren Rakes. Lauren was pitching well, so hopefully nothing's gone south there. Here's a pitch from Morgan, and that's ball 1. And typical rotation for us would be Morgan and Lauren would be the starters in double headers. So we'll see how that fares for game 2. 1 ball, 1 strike here, 1 out, top of the 4th. Southern New Hampshire with a base runner. And a little foul ball at the plate. 4 strike 2. And that gets back to the screen, and Chloe Griffin is going to be able to advance to second. Not sure how that'll score that. Wild pitch or pass ball. Regardless, Southern New Hampshire has their first runner in scoring position with Shannon Gifford at the plate, third baseman. She struck out in the second, facing Lauren Rakes. And the count's run full. Here's the payoff. And there's strike 3. Nice pitch from Morgan to get strike 3 in the second out of the inning. And hopefully keep the Southern New Hampshire base runner stranded at second. Emily Carbonneau, first baseman, steps in. Struck out back in the second. And here's the pitch. Check swing, but strike. And there's strike two. Southern New Hampshire, no runs on 2 hits, but threaten here with 2 outs and a runner on second. Carbonneau stands in. Here's the pitch. And that's outside. Wind, as I mentioned, is picked back up. And there's a little slow roller to Rackard. She'll make the throw to Wood, and the Bears get out of the inning with that 6-3 ground ball. So Southern New Hampshire, with their first real threat of the game, leaves a runner stranded at second, can't score, and we'll go to the bottom of the fourth with the Bears leading 3-0. You're listening to Lenoir-Rhyne Softball on the Bears Sports Network.
I knew that there was an opportunity to have my college paid for if I was good enough to play baseball at that level. That was going to make a big difference in my family. D2 baseball gave me an opportunity to play at a high level and to get an education that's going to be valuable for me throughout the rest of my life. I chose to take my experience of being a student athlete and pursue that within my career and to get a master's degree. If I wouldn't have had a baseball scholarship, there'd be no chance that I'm doing what I'm doing today.
So, welcome back. On softball today against Southern New Hampshire. 3-0 lead as we head to the bottom of the fourth, and at least part of our questions being answered as Lauren Rake stands at the plate. So, Morgan Beeler came in and pitched the top half of the fourth inning, and just, wasn't quite sure why Lauren didn't go back out there, but she is at the plate hitting. So, I think that's a good sign. Lauren walked. Bears 3 runs on 5 hits. No errors. They have left 4 people stranded, but did push some runs across there in the third, in the second inning. Kendall Osborne stands in. It's a single back in the, and there's another pop. It's going to be second base. Neither one can make the play. It was kind of in an odd spot. Second baseman wasn't sure she could get there, and right fielder couldn't get in to handle it. So Kendall Osborne's on with her second hit of the game. Savannah Moorfield will step in. With 1 out and a runner on first. Savannah double back in the second. A couple of RBIs. Came around to score our third run, and that's where we stand now. Bears up 3-0. Chloe Griffin on the mound in the circle for Southern New Hampshire. And other than that little hiccup spell in the second inning, series of 3 hits and walking 4 batters, and there's a shot up the middle by Savannah Moorfield, and good solid single is going to put Bears on first and second here with 1 out in the bottom of the fourth. Going back to Chloe Griffin. Really just the one hiccup there in the second. 4 straight runners. Made it on base. And she pitched well, but now in a little bit of a pickle here. Bears first and second, 1 out. And butt attempt for Caitlin Rackard. Rackard flew out to left in the first. RBI double back in the second. And here's the pitch. And that's a strike. Varying opinions from the fans, but I'm sure Chloe Griffin, the Penman pitcher, liked it. Counts now 0-2 to Rackard. And a little defensive there. We got a piece of it. And the count remains 0-2. Rackard, a freshman from Lexington, North Carolina, played what I've seen so far as pretty solid shortstop. And some power at the plate. And fights it off again. She's kind of in that spot where she can't really gamble and let something go if she feels like she can get the bat on it. Down 0-2. She wants to stay in there. 1 out. Bears have runners at first and second. Really give themselves a little bit more cushion if they can get a run across this inning or more. And nice shot, but right to the third baseman. Is she going to be able to make the play? No, Rackard beats it out, and the Bears have the bases loaded for Kylie Lenhart. And it's a nice little spot to have the third leading home run hitter in the history of LR softball come to the plate. 1 out and bases loaded. Kylie heads down the line to chat with Coach Sheena Holler. 23rd season here at Lenoir-Rhyne, and we're certainly lucky to have Coach Holler. Long, successful career, and thankfully it's been in Hickory. So the meeting on the mound breaks up, and catcher's going to get set here as Chloe Griffin steps in. A pretty big predicament with Kylie Lenhart at the plate, and the bases loaded for Lenoir-Rhyne, 1 out here. This could really break the game wide open if Kylie can get one to the gap or hit 1 out. Kylie, like she wanted to step out. Opener for Southern New Hampshire, but I imagine any scouting report would say got to be careful with number 3. Game 2 to follow, somewhere around 5 o'clock, I imagine. We're in the bottom of the 4th now. Bears with a big threat here with 1 out. And a little high. Can't be too cautious if you're on the mound because there's nowhere to put Lenhart without forcing another run. So Griffin's got her handful here. And Lenhart gets underneath it. Is he going to be able to, yeah, right fielder makes a play. Tag by Osborne, and she is safe. So RBI for Kylie Lenhart on the sac fly. But that's 2 outs. Moorfield advances to third, and Caitlin Rackard at second. So Bears still can get some runs across. 2 in scoring position for Cassidy Wall. She singled back in the first, flew out to center in the third. Has an opportunity here. Cassie, our RBI leader, can add a couple with a single. And there's strike 1. Imagine if Chloe Griffin can get out of this giving up only 1 run, she'll be very, very relieved. And she's got a chance to do that. But there's a single from Wall, and the Bears are going to get 2 more. Wall's going to advance to second on the throw from left field. Got past the catcher, and the Bears have taken control here in the bottom of the 4th. So hitting a couple more RBIs for Bears RBI leader, Cassidy Wall, puts her at 9 for the year, and the Bears now up 6-0. Interestingly, both games of the King doubleheader ended in 6-0 wins for Lenoir-Rhyne. Hannah Jennings steps in, and I'm sure she'd like to make it 7-0. She's got a runner on second that she can get across. And a pitching change for Southern New Hampshire. Let's see if we can get... It looks like it is Lena McKechnie. Sophomore from Maine. As I mentioned, most of their roster is Massachusetts, New Hampshire, and Maine. Excuse me. Looks like Griffin's going to stay in and go to either center or right. So we'll make that change and see which one came out. Looks like maybe Abby Haggerty might have been the one to leave the game. Griffin was hitting for herself in the pitcher spot, and the flex player was a left fielder, so I don't know if that means if Brittany Moda is going to be hitting or not. Just have to kind of sort it out as we go through the lineup. So Lena McKechnie will take over in the circle for the Penman and inherits a runner on second for Lenoir-Rhyne, but there are 2 outs as Hannah Jennings steps in. And there's a strike. Little movement on that pitch from McKechnie. And a little high. Jennings flew out to center back in the first, struck out in the third. Is 1-1 here against the new Southern New Hampshire pitcher. Now 2-1. Cassidy Wall stands on second. 2 RBI single. Kind of blown this open a little bit for the Bears. They lead now 6-0. And outside, and the count goes to 3-1. Season opener for Southern New Hampshire. And so this is their first live action, I suspect, against another team. And you got to start at some point. But it takes a little while to get in a groove with things. So I'm not playing to Southern New Hampshire's advantage, certainly. The Bears already having played 9 games. And with a pretty experienced roster and 3 solid freshmen. And there's a ground ball to third. Nice stop, but I don't know that she's going to be able to get Jennings. And she doesn't. So tough play down there at the hot corner. And Jennings reaches. Moves Cassidy Wall to third. So Julia Mardigan steps in. Lined out to the shortstop in the second. Single in the third. And has an opportunity to push another run across here for the Bears with 2 outs in the bottom of the 4th. Bears have already plated 3 this inning. See if they can get some more. And there's a strike. Chloe Griffin, the Penman starter, faced 6 batters this inning, and Lena McKechnie came in relief. It's facing her second batter in Mardigan. Hannah Jennings moves to second on the steal. Bears now with 2 runners in scoring position. Here's the pitch to Morgan. And it's a shot to right field, and Chloe Griffin, who started the inning in the circle, now in right field, makes a play, and the Bears' rally is ended there. But not before Lenoir-Rhyne plates 3 runs to take a 6-0 lead against Southern New Hampshire here in Game 1 of our doubleheader. We'll be right back. You're listening to Lenoir-Rhyne Softball on the Bears Sports Network, sponsored by MBA Roofing.
NCAA Division II Community Engagement is an initiative at all 25 national championships because student athletes want to give back while competing for a national title. Over the course of the year, Division II student athletes have an opportunity to leave a lasting impression in local communities throughout the country. Whether Division II student athletes are volunteering at hospitals, schools, after-school care programs, foster homes, or retirement villages, they make a difference in the lives of others. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
And welcome back. Bears leading here in Game 1 of our doubleheader against Southern New Hampshire. Bears leading 6-0. Scores to both games on Wednesday were 6-0. So we'll see how that goes here as Morgan Beeler steps on the rubber. Beeler came in relief of Lauren Rakes back in the 4th. And had a nice inning. And she starts the top of the 5th here. Swing and a miss. Count goes to 0-2. Ricks pitched 3 innings, 1 hit, no runs, no walks, 6 strikeouts. One thing that kind of popped into my mind, maybe she's just splitting the 2 up in the 2 games and she's going to pitch them both a few innings instead of having them get drawn out into a 7-inning at a time situation. 2 more games tomorrow and then 2 on Monday. So with those, Morgan and Lauren being our primary pitchers, she may just be spacing out their work today. 2-2 now the count. Abby Gray, the Penman catcher, stands at the plate. Gray grounded out to Laura Beth Wood back in the 2nd and is victim of a strikeout here to lead off the top of the 5th. Beeler now with her 2nd strikeout of the game, having come in the 4th. And faces Ari Ferrier, who looks like is the replacement when Chloe Griffin went to right field. So new batter is Ari Ferrier. For the Penman. And she takes the ball outside, counts 2-1. Bears looking to build on the doubleheader sweep from Wednesday, and have gotten off to a good start here today. And that's right back to Morgan. She'll make an easy throw over to Laura Beth Wood, and quickly there are 2 outs here in the top of the 5th. Jordan Recitar step in. She's the designated player today for Southern New Hampshire. And pitch from Morgan is a little outside. UNC Pembroke tomorrow. First pitch at 2 o'clock. Now it's a doubleheader. Then Lemoyne out of Syracuse, New York on Monday. And there's strike 1. Wind's been off and on, settled down currently. We've had some stretches where the flags have pretty much been flying straight out. 2-1 to count now. Only a couple of base runners for Southern New Hampshire, hit back in the 3rd and 1 in the 4th. And that's been it. No walks between Lauren Rakes and Morgan Beeler as of yet. Although here's a 3-1 count. And should have kept my mouth shut as Jordan Ressiter takes ball 4 and heads to first base. I mentioned Wednesday as the Bears were coming back, from Florida and trying to get back in the win column, that the base on balls had hurt both Morgan and Lauren here early in the season. Only 1 walk in 14 innings on Wednesday, and this the first walk today, as there will be a pinch runner for Recitar. That is Jill Johnson. For Southern New Hampshire. So Johnson will stand at first after the walk to Recitar. And here's a pitch from Beeler, and that's a ball. Top of the 5th, Bears in command here with a 6-0 lead. And 2 outs here. Southern New Hampshire does have a runner on first. And there's a shot to right as well. Pretty easy play for Cassidy Wall. And that ends the inning for Southern New Hampshire. So 1 base runner, but easily taken care of on the next batter. And we will go to the bottom of the 5th. Bears lead 6-0. You're listening to Lenoir-Rhyne Softball on the Bears Sports Network.
Being a champion takes more than talent, more than the perfect pass, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the spirit to always push harder, the ability to overcome any hurdle, and the fire to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
And welcome back. Game 1 of our doubleheader. Bears softball against Southern New Hampshire. Bears lead 6-0. Laura Beth Wood will step in. See if we can tack on a couple more here. In the bottom of the 5th against the Penman. Lena McKechnie in the circle for Southern New Hampshire. And here's the pitch to Wood, and that's a strike. Laura-Beth grounded out to her counterpart at first base back in the second, grounded out to shortstop in the third, so she's looking for her first hit of the day. And that was inside, went off the catcher's glove, counts 1-1. Beautiful day in Hickory today. A little bit chilly, a little bit windy. More wind than there was on Wednesday. And it's low, 2-1 now for Laura-Beth Wood. Lauren Rakes on deck. She started the game in the circle. Morgan Beeler came in relief in the fourth, but Lauren has remained in the lineup to hit. And just foul there for Wood as she slows up and trots back to home plate to give it another go. 2-2 the count. Bears lead 6-0. Only 2 hits for Southern New Hampshire. 3 base runners, a couple of hits and a walk, and that's been it. Bears bats have been pretty hot today, and Laura-Beth Wood goes down on strikes. That's out 1 here in the bottom of the 5th. Lauren Rakes stands in. She walked back in the second, scored a Bears first run, popped out to the second baseman in the 4th, but the Bears ended up getting 3 runs there for this 6-0 lead. So Lauren stands in to face McKechnie, and ball 1. Three innings pitched for Lauren today as she started. 1 hit, no walks, 6 strikeouts. And just speculating, but we'll wait for the pitch here. And there's a strike. Just wondering, with all these games stacked together, 2 today, 2 tomorrow, 2 Monday, and both Morgan and Lauren pitched 7 innings on Wednesday, that maybe she's splitting her starters up, and instead of having them potentially go long in a single game, just 3 or 4 innings maybe, and split up to give them a little more rest or stretch out their work. We'll see if that's the case. And here's the pitch to Rakes, and chopper foul down third base, and count goes to 1-2. Season opener for Southern New Hampshire. And there's been a couple of rough spots, but overall they look like a pretty solid team. Here's a pitch from McKechnie, and foul off to the right this time, and out of play. So Lauren battling. Count 2-2, 1 out. We're in the bottom of the 5th. McKechnie comes to the plate, a little high, and Lauren has now run the count full. Drew a walk back in the second. See how she handles the full count here. And here's the pitch. That draws her second walk of the day, so base runner for Lenoir-Rhyne, first walk of the game for Lena McKechnie, who came in relief of Chloe Griffin. And Kendall Osborne steps in. She's 2 for 2 today, scored 2 runs. Coach Holler, a little discussion with the official. Looks like maybe she's going to have a pinch runner for Lauren, maybe. Well, no, different hitter for the Bears. On the roster, it looks like it could be Sammy Deisler. No, Taylor Beard for the Bears. Senior out of Newton, just right down the road. So Taylor Beard will hit for Kendall Osborne. And it's going to squeak through for a hit. So nice job for Taylor Beard just right off the bench. Trying to get her at first. Smart move there by Griffin out in right field, but Beard beats it out, and she has a hit here in her first pitch she faced today. Rex moves down to second. So once again, Bears have runner in scoring position and a chance to tack on to a 6-0 lead. One away here. Savannah Moorfield steps in for Lenoir-Rhyne. She singled in the fourth, scored a run. See how she does here. And a little high. So nice job for Taylor Beard to, again, single on her first pitch she saw today to get the Bears first and second with one out. Tenth hit of the day for Lenoir-Rhyne. So nice job at the plate. Kind of building some confidence here early on. Tough stretch in Florida. But I guess we were a little bit in the situation that Southern New Hampshire and probably Lemoyne are. You know, although we have been able to be outside, our weather's been a little bit different, and we've had wet and snow. And I imagine if you asked Coach Holler, we probably weren't able to do as much there in January as she would have liked, just to get ready for the season. And down in Florida, they're probably able to go outside every day year-round. So good couple of games here for Lenoir-Rhyne. They're trying to tack on their third win in a row. And ball 3 to Moorfield. Dangerous hitter, came in leading the Bears, 441 average, 2 hits today. I'm not sure that McKechnie wants that speed on base with only one out. And there's ball 4. So quickly with one away, the bases are loaded. McKechnie retired Laura Beth Wood on strikes, but things have kind of changed quickly for her. Single by walk to Lauren Rakes, single by Taylor Beard, and now walk to Moorfield, load the bases with Caitlin Rackard coming up. Double an RBI back in the second, reached on an error in the fourth, and scored the Bears' 6th run. So she has an opportunity to put some RBIs in the column. As the Bears really do now have a chance to kind of blow this thing open. Here's a pitch to Rackard. And it's a ball. Kind of methodical. McKechnie and the catcher, Abby Gray. Here's a strike. And they need to be careful, certainly. Bases are full of Bears here. And here's the pitch. And ball 2. So Rackard, a little ahead here, 2-1 count. With only one out. And she's certainly got a chance to kind of wait for something she likes. And here's a pitch. And that's low, ball 3. So a walk here and things would certainly be getting away pretty quick for Lena McKechnie. First live action for her too, I imagine. And there's a shot to left by Rackard, and it's misplayed by the left fielder, and then there's the wheels are turning. Bears are going to get some runs here. Well, they've got a little mix-up there at third. Beard held up. Moorfield was already there, so Beard came home and was able to score. So Bears now have won the game. Bottom of the 5th. Those 2 runs put the Bears at 8-0, and the run rule comes into effect. So I'm getting distracted a little bit up here. So run rule for Lenoir-Rhyne, as they have defeated Southern New Hampshire in Game 1 of this doubleheader. So we end here after 4 1/3 for the Bears, and they notch another win in the win column. So the Bears will take a 500 record, 5-5, into Game 2 of our doubleheader, as we will, I guess, wrap it up here for a bit, probably 15-20 minutes before we get to Game 2. Bears take this one 8-0, 11 hits, no runs, 2 hits, 3 errors for Southern New Hampshire. Chloe Griffin takes the loss. And the Bears, 8 runs, 11 hits, no errors. Lauren Rakes, I imagine, will get the win. Not sure what the inning limit is. Might actually go to Beeler since he came in the 4th. We'll see how that matches out. But nonetheless, 3rd straight shutout for Lenoir-Rhyne pitching, and hopefully continue that as we go to Game 2. We're going to take a break now, and we'll be back with you at the start of the Game 2. Thanks for listening to Lenoir-Rhyne Softball on the Bear Sports Network, sponsored by MBA Roofing. We'll see you shortly.